breaking on their blood.
Welcome in. It's the Rick and Bubba Show. The Fat Man Alive. Good morning. I be Rick.
And I be Bubba.
We start the show every morning as we welcome on Turner South with the top of the hour song. This is something that all of you will need to know. Some of you have already heard the show on radio. Some of you are seeing it and hearing it for the first time.
And you could be shocked, but please be patient.
Here we go.
It's time to get up in the morning. Yes! Drink my coffee, hurry up. I got to get to work on time. Hey, hey, hey! Sing it with us. Beep, beep. See a train rolling down the track. See you later. Hurry back out of my way. Hey, got to get to work on time. Hey, hey, hey!
Look, everybody, let's get it. Here we go. Got to get ready.
I got the hustle. Oh, my muscles getting big and they're hot. I be sweating like a pig. Got to hurry, sorry. Got to get to work on time.
A little heavy metal for you there.
I got to go back to lunch, yeah, working overtime. After taxes, barely make a dime. Punch a clock in, yeah, got to get to work on time.
Here's your national anthem, Miss Leanne Rhymes.
To your feet.
Can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we held at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars
It is 3 minutes past the hour of the Rick and Bubba Show, and we are moving. And glad that you are here with us today. A big day on the program because, Bubba, we welcome to the list of 23 radio stations all across the Southeast. We welcome now by TV the Turner South family, and we are flattered to be part of it.
Welcome to all of you viewing the program, and we're going to take a segment here and kind of try to introduce to you what the Rick and Bubba Show is all about. Now, granted, we won't be able to do that in this one segment.
No.
But we will lay a foundation, so hopefully you can catch on as quick as possible. We will let you know right out of the gate that this ain't like every other radio show you've ever listened to or seen.
Yes, and sometimes that's going to be painful for you. I'm not saying that that's always going to be good. A lot of what we think you're going to like about this show, there will be times that'll be exactly what you hate about it, and that is we are who we are. And we talk about what we think and what we believe, and sometimes you're going to love that, and sometimes you're going to go, wow, why did they ever put them on? So I just want you to prepare for that. So we really need to kind of start out because there's a cast of characters that work here on the program. Those of you that are already listening to the show, you already are familiar with it. Now you're just seeing it. That's fine. And a lot of you will see right out of the gate, I've been working out a little bit. But we'll also...
no extra charge for the gun show.
But anyway, so that's a new one. I just added that to the repertoire. That's me cocking the old pump there. So, so Green one never saw that one coming.
Right. But I'm just glad you wore sleeves today. But
right out the gate, guys.
The show, as you can probably tell, is not scripted.
It is just kind of a stream of consciousness, and sometimes, as Rick said, that consciousness will worry you.
Sure.
But all we ask is you don't make a snap decision on the program, that you give us 30 days, and then you can decide if we buy it or not.
Yeah, well, our show's also we interact with callers. You can call us anywhere in the country at 1-877-WE-BE-BIG. Our website is Rick and Bubba, spell out and.com. You can go there and find out a lot about the show very quickly, beginning there. Should we introduce everyone?
Yeah, Rick, I think we should start with you, old number one over there.
Hi there. My name is hey buddy. My name is Rick Burgess. I like horse riding. I'm a Libra. No, I'm Rick. Old number one. Number two here, of course, is the pride of Cedar Springs, Alabama, Mr. Bill Bubba Bussey.
Hello, and well, Rick, you didn't tell about your family, and
we're gonna go all that?
Give the rundown. Let everybody know where you're coming from.
I think I love football. I think soccer's a communist plot. I have 4 children. Brandy is 12, so almost a teenage daughter. That's going to be great. I have a son who is 11. I have another son who is 3, and then another son who is 16 months old today. So
really?
Yeah, all of their names start with the letter B. They're called the B Team, and the 2 little ones are called the Killer Bees. They'll give you lots of material. You'll enjoy them. And then, Bubba, tell a little something about yourself.
Well, I am known as Bubba here on the show, old number 2, Bill Bubba Bussey, and I am married to the lovely Betty Lou of 13 years. We have 2 beautiful children, Hunter, who is 4, and Caitlin, who is 2. And currently, I'm under attack from a group we call The Answer, who are the soccer players of America. We both desire to raise our sons playing what we call the Big 3, football, basketball, baseball. And I'm under attack right now. Now, there is a nasty picture on our website that looks like I'm at a soccer field. But as that picture went up, and my argument was, hey, with digital stuff now, you can do anything.
Sure, you can tamper with pictures.
And there's all kind of pictures up there to prove my point that listeners have sent to the website. So I invite you to go and look at that and see how I'm being attacked by this group we call The Answer.
Also want to pass along my wife's name is Sherry. I left that out, and I'll hear about that for the rest of the day.
Boy, Rick.
Sherry, I was listing. I didn't know we were going to list. I'm so sorry. I love you dearly. I've married up. I'm in over my head. I can't believe it. God bless you.
Yeah, and before all of you start emailing and going, Rick and Bubba, you're fat. We know that.
Yeah.
Just save that email.
Yeah.
We are aware of that, okay?
We're known as the 2 sexiest fat men alive, and I think now on TV that's pretty obvious. But, hey, we're tubby. We know it. So leave that email off, and we know our heads are big, too, okay?
Yes, and we have, as a matter of fact, I have the largest head here on the show.
Yes.
I have to struggle to find a size 8 cap that will fit. And
y'all missed that at the Braves game yesterday, trying to find Bubba a Braves hat.
How about this? They have 8s. They have 8s. I got a hat, though. Can you believe that?
Those of you that grew up Braves fans and watched them in the 70s, let me tell you how bad it was. We tried to get Bubba a hat yesterday. The first thing they brought us out was the old headdress from Oklahoma.
Yeah,
So
I mean, it was it was
Good
really,
night, I'm done.
It was really embarrassing. Also, our producer for the show, we call him Speedy.
Look over here.
Old
Look
number
over here.
3 here on the show.
There he is.
Please welcome Speed Racer.
Hey, how you doing? Nice hair, buddy.
Thank you. Right out of the way. I know my head's shining. Want to get that out of the way.
Sure, it shines. We know it.
We're all going to be shining in here.
Let me tell you, my wife's Terry. Get that out of the way. Also, have 2 children, Tyler and JC. JC being the youngest, 10 months old. And hey, wow. He's called a mini-me. He does not have a lot of hair yet, so he looks just like me. I lost a bet 2 years ago and shaved my head and was losing it anyway, so I thought, well, we'll keep it this way.
Yes.
I do the stadium stuff for the Tennessee Titans. You'll hear us talk about the Titans a lot.
Yes.
A bunch. And so that's about it for me, I think. Anything else? Every now and then, from time to time, I'll get out on the road and do some crazy stunts. Some of the things I've done is jumped out of a perfectly good airplane.
Yes.
Let's see, what have I done?
Well, you ran naked through a senior PGA event.
Yeah, I did that. Been attacked by a canine.
Yes.
Done that.
Attacked by a police dog. That's that. Hey, you don't see that much.
No, I've snuck into many sporting events.
Yeah, you ran 100 yards at the Georgia Dome before the SEC championship game. Well, almost 100. I mean, I don't want to get nitpicky.
Right.
Well, they drove him out of bounds at the 10, but I mean, it was 90 good yards and tore his player chain, but he's fine.
Climbed a water tower that people painted to give us a billboard since we didn't have any billboards in the Nashville area.
Yes.
Got stuck up there, if you remember that.
I do.
Because I thought it was going to collapse and I was going to die.
Yeah. And some people think that Speedy has lost his edge now that he's a married man and a father, and that's an issue we will have to address here in the coming
week. But let's keep in mind, every time I go out, everybody declares I haven't lost it. So
that's what
I just need to get out more.
That's another. He's newly married, and he was a former player, and it's been an adjustment period for him. But I think he's adjusted nicely. As a matter of fact, he's adjusted so quick it's given some of us an ice cream headache.
Yeah, we're not used to it, really.
Yeah. I mean, you went from player extraordinaire to Ward Cleaver. Like, I mean, it was like overnight.
Right.
And water.
Right.
Yeah, you're all over that. And the last thing is, a lot of you will see me wearing headphones, and then you'll see this other little substantial,
and you like
one-eared,
and
hey,
you like it,
all this kind of, and
you like it,
yeah, and what it is I get to talk to. I got Atlanta and Turner South in one ear, going, 5 seconds, 3, 2, 1.
What are they saying right now?
They're laughing.
Okay.
And so you'll see either myself, number 3, or who you're about to meet, Don Juan DeMarco, wearing this, and from time to time actually doing camera work.
Yeah, so. and our assistant producer, number 4, the creamy smooth brother, the down south player, the Big D. Ladies and gentlemen, Don Juan DeMarco. There he is.
Oh, wow.
Hey, what's up, player?
Hey.
All right, we're going to have to move D in. They're trying to get you on camera.
There you go.
Of course,
there he is.
There he is.
Wow. We made it. I'm on TV right now.
And someone did ask D earlier, and we'll credit our truck driver, Bones, who asked Don Juan, did you just go to a club last night and just come in and never go home with your outfit today?
But I've been home. Yeah, I still have my player chain on from the club.
Yeah, you look good. You look good.
Well, plus I can't talk like you guys have talked this morning because I don't have the wife yet.
No.
Still single.
He is our player of the show.
No children.
Player.
That's right.
So I really don't have anything to say.
How about
and remember, y'all don't hate D because he's a player. I mean, if you're going to get mad, hate the game, not the player. I mean, that's all I got to say.
D? And it was so funny because I'll try to get into D's world. All of us that are married and have multiple kids, and no offense, because I know somebody would get mad. If you got one kid, that's fine, but until you take on more than one, that's real parenting.
That's when Dad has his own kid, and that's a whole different world.
Anybody can double team, but when you got to play zone and all that, but I just looked at D. We're riding, coming back from the Braves game yesterday, and I turned around and I said, so what is it like? What are you like right now? Do you have anything on you? And he goes, no, pretty much do whatever I want.
Go home.
I'm trying to think.
Go home, watch a little TV.
I'm still single.
You know what? I'm trying to think how many things I've got to do when I get home. And you know what? I just remembered I forgot to roll the garbage to the can. The garbage to the road. The garbage can to the road. Sorry, Betty. I know I'm in trouble because that's the one thing in my world I'm really responsible for.
Oh, yeah. You can,
and that is a Bobo no-no.
You can
not to
bring
get that
home
down.
the bacon. You can go on Turner South. You can pay that mortgage another month, and all they can talk about is you've got to take the trash out.
Oh, I know. I can come in. I'll be, honey, I sit in with Pete and Don at the Braves game.
Right.
It was cool. Don Sutton gave us a ton.
Yes, he
I
did.
felt like he wanted us to stay an extra.
He did want us to stay.
And I'm fired up. Honey, can you believe it? Our friends in Atlanta that haven't been able to hear the show, finally going to be able to see it. It's a top 10 market. I'm all excited, and it'll be like, have you rolled the garbage to the road? I mean, take your knees out, buddy. I mean,
those of us that are married know it. You're only as good as your last trip to the road with the garbage. We'll be back. We'll let you meet the rest of the Rick and Bubba staff. The support staff is here this morning, too. You'll be hearing about them, so you need to get to know them. And a lot of you that have been listening for years, you may have never seen them. You'd like to get a look at them. So we will do that here when we come back.
That means all you hounds, get ready.
That means
Roll
hounds.
tape.
Yeah. And you ladies that like to throw yourself at Ryan Greenwood. All that. We'll come back. 13 minutes back.
Rick and Bubba, Rick and Bubba.
We're back. It is 19 minutes past the hour of the Rick and Bubba Show, the two sexiest fat men alive. I be Rick.
And I be Bubba. Good morning.
If you're just joining us for the first time, watching us on Turner South, or you've been listening for years, it is day one. Those of you that are new to the program, you want to find out more, just go to our website, rickandbubba, spell out n.com. All the information is there to try to catch up quickly. Our show, kind of a stream of consciousness, where Seinfeld is a show about nothing. Ours is kind of a show about anything. So we want to introduce you to the characters on the program because it's kind of an ongoing soap opera. And those of you that are joining us via Turner South that may have never heard the show before, you're kind of in the middle of a soap opera, so you got to get to know the storylines. So that's kind of what we're doing today, bringing you up to date. And if you are a listener to the show, there's somebody new that is being brought into the loop by the Turner South program. You need to, bring them up to date quickly. Bring them along. That's your job. And the next, Bub, I guess we go.
Blair and Karen.
Blair and Karen is up next. Blair and Karen is a former intern She is also one of our call screeners at 877-WE-BE-BIG and works part-time for us. Hey, Karen, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Now, Karen is very talented.
Oh,
she
yes.
has one of the most beautiful singing voices you will ever hear, and we're going to lose her to a big recording contract one day. But until then, she's with us.
Yeah, actually, the plan I have for 2 of my children of the 4 going to college is for Karen to make it big, me hold it over her head that without us she wouldn't have made it, and get some money out of it. I'll be
Just a little bit of an override.
Yeah, I'll be that guy you'll see it on Behind the Music. They'll show my picture, and they'll go, and when we come back, you know, my face will be stuck up there.
Karen meets Rick
Well, more
Burgess.
important than that, I do think that the mullet could be the greatest haircut ever known to man. Too,
She
so
loves
that-
mullet.
Yeah.
Loves
Yeah.
mullet.
Oh,
I am
yes.
a huge mullet fan. So that's pretty much me. I am a big girl. Let's go on and call it. It ain't like you can't see me, you know. Let's not pretend. So I mean, wow. We all have mirrors out there. Ain't no shame in it. Big girl, big love. So.
And, Karen, don't forget, once you go big, you never go back.
That's right.
I mean, everybody knows that.
Right, well,
Oh, and I'm single.
okay, well, there that is.
Yeah, there.
Here's the shot of the mullet. Here.
Okay, listen, we have a mullet here that Karen has. It's a doll of a mullet.
Yeah, that is really
hey,
nice.
and when you get done with that, I hope that's mine, by the way.
Yeah, it is. As a matter of fact, our producer of the TV part of this, John Perry, has brought this in just for you, Karen.
Really?
It is a statue of a guy, a little action figure with a look at that right there.
And Karen has every web page known to man that honors the mullet.
As a matter of fact, if you'll look at this action figure one more time, he's got freckles, but if you just look at the hair, that was me in 1985, right there.
See, they have mullet wigs at these Halloween stores, and I want Don Juan to wear one for Halloween, but he refuses. So,
Okay.
You would look
of course, it'd look like a Mexican mullet.
Mexican mullet?
Yeah, Karen has a full breakdown of mullets. We have, and I don't even want to go into it today. It would take a whole hour.
And next, this will take a lot. But we can't get it all in now. Ryan Greenwood is our webmaster on rickandbubba.com. He also plays the lead guitar in our band.
Thank you.
And it comes in on the show from time to time. Best known as being the most obsessive Miami Dolphin fan, and we're not talking about kind of, sort of, in the history of the franchise.
I'm just a normal fan, I think.
Well, now here's the
I mean,
thing,
for the
Rick.
most part.
We're going to tell people
Now,
about Ryan, and they're not going to believe what we're saying.
Yeah,
and really, we don't have enough time to set this up, but he is the only person that I know that is under a doctor's care.
Yes.
Because his blood pressure is too high when he watches the Dolphins game. Now, maybe that's from the fact that he wears a full uniform, helmet, shoulder pads, pants, cleats, and mouthpiece, tackles the couch, thinks he's on the team, and has been known to ram his head through the sheetrock when they fumble.
I'm a little sore today, by the way.
Tough
game yesterday.
Yeah, well, let me say this. Ryan thinks he's on the team, and I'll just give you a quick example. There's so much more to come. Matter of fact, if you'd like to get our CD, 2001 A Radio Oddity, we have a story on there when Ryan, the Miami Dolphins lost on Monday Night Football to the Jets in one of the greatest comebacks in history.
The curse is over now.
Of the game, and Ryan Greenwood cut his own hair off to punish himself.
Rick, he mutilated his own hair, which is a sign of mental illness.
Yeah,
and we've had very specialty and experts call in about this. They're concerned about Ryan, as we are.
Self-mutilation is what some people called it. Why do you wear number 7, Ryan?
Because that's my number.
That's your number.
Yes.
So you don't
You
buy
have a
like...
problem with having a number?
No, you just don't get a jersey is what I'm saying. Is you don't just buy like
Well, I couldn't get a jersey that somebody else has already got on the team. I'd have to get a number that's not taken on the team.
because you're on the team.
Right, I'm number 7.
And speaking of mullets, Ryan appears to be revisiting that.
Let's have a look.
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh. Somewhat of a mullet going there. Wait,
It's kind of for Karen.
Ryan is the pride of Sachs High School in Anderson, Alabama,
Thank you.
and to this day they still honor him. So
yes.
Sure.
And Ryan is...
I got a big old smile today, and I do that the show's funny. It's always funny, but I got a big old smile because that curse is gone for the Dolphins.
Yeah, you beat the Jets.
30-3. You didn't just beat them, you spanked them.
how about this,
The
Ryan?
curse is over.
Ryan,
My
right
hair
now,
lives.
Ryan, right now, the Miami Dolphins are the best
Stop
team
it.
in the NFL.
Stop it.
Hey,
Don't-
I think
don't
it's going to be
start it.
Don't
start it.
I think
You don't like them. You don't like them. You don't like them. Nobody likes them. Don't start.
You know
like
what it
now.
reminds
Get
me
off
of,
the
don't you, Rick?
bandwagon.
The
Get off
miracle
mound.
season.
No,
Yeah.
no,
Yeah.
no.
They may go
We're
undefeated.
We're just 3-0.
Well, y'all
13 games
maybe
left.
Dolphins,
Just 3-0.
Dolphins and Eagles
Y'all
in the
are,
Super Bowl.
y'all are
No,
unstoppable,
no,
Ryan.
just 3-0. That's it. That's all.
Yeah, but he's fine. He's not obsessed at
Yeah.
all. Thanks, Ryan. And
We'll source.
you can email Ryan at the website if you have any
We'll
questions
get a few
about it.
shots here for the website.
All right, thank you, Ryan, very much.
Thanks, Ryan.
Next from the news department, this is our news person. She comes in from time to time to update us on what's going on, or just to kind of give the female perspective. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for Roxanne. Roxanne, there she is. Roxanne, thank you, Roxanne.
Roxanne is by far and away the most perky person here on the show, and she's just always glowing.
Oh, yes. And
She's hot for Bush.
Right, she is. Let's just call that. You find the president and the leader of the free world very attractive. We have the Bush cam back behind you there, even though we're not sure we should call it that.
I think another
maybe?
network has probably copyrighted that, but that is the case.
Yeah, and that's what it is. So, Roxanne, I wanted to introduce you to the folks watching now on Turner South.
Thank you so much. I'm so excited. Unfortunately, when I am on the show, a lot of times something bad is happening.
Well, that's true.
But I do love George W., so if you have any hot pictures of the prez, I need them. You need to email them.
Well, you know, I think, Roxanne, I think you were the first person that I heard just come out and make the statement, I'm hot for Bush.
Yes.
And the morning you did that, I mean, the phones lit up,
Yes.
the women started calling, and I had no idea.
Right.
I mean, we all knew that Billy C. was a player.
Yeah, sure.
But I had no idea that the women thought that W was hot. I mean, the guys liked him because, you know, he's a Texan, and he calls it, and he says what he thinks and all that, but we just didn't know that he had the female appeal.
Right.
But apparently he does.
Well, when he's super intense and he leans forward at the podium and he pounds his fist and he looks like he's going to go get it, I love that.
How about the shot right now? They've got the president standing behind you looking at you. He's got his camera
Oh,
going.
isn't that wonderful? Now, I love Laura, and everything's okay, but I do think he's wonderful. On the cover of Runner magazine, there's a thigh muscle jutting, so I'm warning you.
You're all over it.
It's
Okay.
great.
Roxanne, news person, there she is.
Maybe this is a good time to tell everybody this is a family show.
Yes, it is.
And I know a lot of morning shows
Right.
have gone the blue route. That's not the case here.
Right.
It is family. It's not Disney radio,
No.
but as you can tell. Anyway,
not prudes by any stretch, and,
Right.
and there'll be some points you'll question whether we are as good people as we say we are.
because our moms are watching and they will get on us.
Interns right now, they'll roll through, have different interns at different times. Right now we have interns, Great Balls of Amy. Right here, she is interning with us to learn about the biz. She screens calls, and also Peaches. Right here, two interns that are working with us right now as they both stand here on mic number 4. And when you call the program, a lot of times they will be the ones that you'll try to convince to get put on the show.
There are Monday, Wednesday, and Friday interns.
Yeah, we have different interns on different days of the week. But these are the Monday, Wednesday, Friday bunch, Great Balls of Amy and Peaches. If you wonder how they got those names, we nickname every intern. And there's various. So ladies, welcome to the Turner South part of the deal.
Thank you.
Y'all didn't know y'all was going to get that when you signed up for the internship, did you? Yeah.
Great Balls of Amy, known to be a big pageant girl. She is in various pageants.
And you know, she is really, I think, the most bashful intern we've had as far as talking, or she just
doesn't like us.
Yeah, I don't know what it is.
I mean, she may be unimpressed and just trying to get an easy A.
Yeah.
So there's that. And also Bones is here this morning, who drives the mobile assault broadcast vehicle.
Jump over here, Bones.
We have a vehicle that is a rolling studio. We'll be coming to different markets to see you and do shows on location. And Bones is the man who drives that and takes care of that whenever it's going out. And there he stands. Ladies and gentlemen, truck driver Bones. And you see why he got his name?
Yeah.
He looks just like he came right out of the Mr. Salty pretzel pack.
And it appears Bones got a good night's sleep last night. and bright and ready to go.
And old man Mickey Dean is stage left. He's hovering right out here.
And Rick, he's turned it up. He's brought his red coat. He's dressed as Santa today.
So international comedian Mickey Dean will also be with us this morning. We'll be right back. It's 29 minutes past.
Rick and Bubba.
We're back. It is 34 minutes past the hour of the Rick and Bubba Show. Everybody say.
Let's get together.
Everybody say.
What we do. Heart to heart. Me and you. And do the thing. I'll do the thing that we like to do.
877 We Be Big is our number. We'll go to the phones. On the phones this morning, it is Peaches and Great Balls of Amy. You can reach us. They're toll-free. International known comedian Mickey Dean joins us. Mickey is also part of the of the show, and you'll see Mickey various times.
How you doing, sir?
Everybody say,
welcome back.
Hey, Mickey. Hey, Mickey. And we're glad you're here this morning for the big debut.
Thank you. It's good to be here, and I caught the show right before I was walking out the door. Crystal clear. Looks like you're sitting in the studio.
Hey, are we really on?
Are we on? Are we broadcasting? You know, they could be pulling a good one on us and just popping it into our TV here.
Sure. What if one guy's sitting down there watching it on one TV?
What if they said, look, put it on the monitors, they'll think they're on. We'll get a lot of plugs
We'll
for Turner
send them
Sound.
a check, and at the end of the month, they'll pay us, and we'll leave town.
You know, every time we do a show out on location, because you're a little out of your element, it's a little bit different.
Absolutely.
We're always panicked, hey, are we on the air?
Testing,
I mean, that is
testing.
And I'm going to tell you, I've got a touch of that feeling today.
Well,
is
see,
it really going out?
I know. That's the difference in radio and stand-up. I know whether they're out there or not. I can see them.
Absolutely.
I can see their reaction. I know whether they're laughing. I know whether what I said was just funny. I get instant feedback. Y'all don't.
No, we don't.
That's what I respect out of you so much, because I've heard y'all do some shows that I would probably quit after.
Right.
And we thought about that, too.
So we didn't know. And then you run into somebody at Walmart 2 days later and said, that bit on those German dogs was so funny. And you go, I believe I'll stay in this a little longer.
Well, it's good and bad. There's good and bad. Sometimes you go, wow, I should have stayed with that. Then you find out sometimes you stayed with something and you shouldn't.
A little bit too long.
So the delay works both ways, good and bad.
Mickey has been a friend for many, many years. We have been a fan of his stand-up, and really kind of a funny way that we got Mickey on the show. We were at the Stardome Comedy Club that Bruce Ayers has in Hoover, Alabama, and Mickey was actually doing a show for another radio station.
Yes.
And we saw Mickey, and Rick and I were sitting there, and we said, guys, we got to have that guy on our team. We cannot have somebody else running with him because he's a hog.
He is too good for that show. I remember thinking that. Did you think it?
Oh, yes,
But
absolutely.
unfortunately, y'all thought it and didn't come and see me.
Right.
You finally made the move.
Right. I finally, my son, Matt, bless his heart, he called one day and said, Daddy, I'm gonna clue you in on something's fixing to happen. Rick and Bubba's coming to Birmingham. And I said, I got one question. Who is Rick and Bubba?
Right.
Well, they're in Gadsden.
And there's a lot of people watching Turner South this morning saying the exact same thing.
And shaking their head right now.
Right.
He said, Daddy, they're going to be big. They're going to be huge. And you need to get on the train. And I was going down 31 about the next day, and y'all were down at a motor company down there. And I said, well, what the heck, What can they do?
Right. And it was an impressive interview because if I remember right, you came in barefooted. I thought that was classic.
Barefooted bearing a CD that I gave y'all. It was a very poor CD.
Yes, I remember thinking that.
It was Kiwi.
But we were fired up.
I didn't know it at the time because I didn't know the word.
We were fired up to meet you, though, Mickey, and I'm glad that you are with us now, and you like to come in on Mondays when you're around. I mean, you're on the road a lot. And
well, I was telling Speedy, I can't tell y'all how much you've done for me. Speedy shows up at Nashville, and we pack the house, and I make a little bit more money, and I don't know, it just feels good, and I appreciate the heck out of y'all letting me be here.
Well, look, if you wasn't funny, you wouldn't be here.
That's right.
I mean, look, we love you, but
you're our friend.
We love you, but we don't go into charity. We don't take on charity cases.
Well, when you
Greenwood.
it all comes down to the talent, I glance over, and the first person I see is Greenwood.
Yeah, well, in most cases, we don't take on charity cases.
Right.
Yeah. Now, we'll be nice to you, and we can be buddies, but, don't mean you're going to be on the show.
But I get to come on about once every 3 or 4 months.
Yeah, so it's all there. Now, this is fun. John is in Pascagoula, Mississippi, on the phones at 1-877-WE-BE-BIG. John is watching and listening right now. John, how you doing, buddy?
I'm doing just fine. How about yourself?
Good. Hey, how about this? You're kind of on TV right now.
Right.
Sort of.
Now, I know there's a little delay. There's probably a little mismatch on audio and video if you're listening and watching, but how's it looking, sir?
It's looking real good on my end. I'm down here on the coast, and y'all are looking real good on there.
How about the old hurricane this weekend? Wow. Are you ready for that, Big John?
Oh yeah. Yeah, you know it. I don't believe it's going to do anything. I think it's going to pass us right on by and keep on getting it, right?
Well, Mark Prater, who's the meteorologist for the show, he'll update us here in a minute. Another update when he's real busy this morning. But he said some folks on the coast, especially in Louisiana and Alabama, may be getting some of it by Thursday, and we'll get an update here in a minute. So,
sir, I don't want to alarm you, but I had an uncle that was living in Biloxi at Carla, and he said the same thing to me on the phone. We found him up around Memphis.
Okay, well, that's okay.
Just a heads up, John.
Wasn't going to get him.
Yeah, I would, tornadoes can just come out of anywhere, and they're very destructive, and,
They'll stand behind a hill. They'll stop and wait
gotta peek
until
around.
you get off from work.
But the good news is with satellite technology now, we know when a hurricane's coming. So, at least we can educate you. Now, granted, you may decide to have a party and stay, but...
right. Some of you people, I don't understand. To me, if I get a heads up...
I don't play games with weather. I mean, did you hear about the football coaches got struck this weekend?
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, that...
You're shaking your fist at Mother Nature, and I think every now and then they're up there, they're bored, they got nothing to do, and they go, look out on that golf course. That guy is actually waving a 2-iron at us.
Boom! Yeah, and then that's it. Let's go to Frankie. Is in Muscle Shoals. Frankie, what's up, man?
Frank.
Oh, monkey grass.
Welcome to the show.
Monkey grass.
Better explain that, Rick.
Well, it's hard to explain, and this is one of those cases where when I think you're going to understand the show more, it's going to confuse you more. Monkey grass is what you say is your first time to call the show because, we get a little tired of the same old radio stuff, and we get tired of hearing people go, first-time caller.
It's like Rush dittos.
Yeah, and somebody said, and then I said, well, what are we going to do to acknowledge a first-time caller? And the first thing that came to my mind was monkey grass.
It actually has no meaning. It's just a word that came up, but that's what we use it for. So go ahead, Frankie.
Yeah, all I can figure is the people who had the house that I live in now before I bought it were really into monkey grass.
You got nice monkey grass. I meant to compliment that.
They were into it. I mean, we've got all kinds. Have you ever tried to keep monkey grass from taking over?
You think that they might have been in the monkey grass business.
Yeah, I wonder if my house at one time wasn't like one of those places you stop a nursery, and their specialty was monkey grass.
A show place.
Frankie, what's up?
Oh, I just want to let y'all know y'all coming in good and clear on the DirecTV satellite this morning. And, you know how you can get the program description on the satellite? The best description it gives y'all, it says, no description available.
I take that as a compliment.
Yes, amen.
They will be able to describe you in a couple of weeks.
But we were a little freaked out this morning to know that, yes, somebody was doing closed captioning for this show.
And I said, how
are they going to spell all of our bad English, our stutters, and we'll do a segment for you, too, on our inability to speak here on the program.
I can see that woman, Linder, L-I-N-D-E-R.
Yeah.
Linder.
Yeah. How do you spell spatula?
Bachelor.
Yeah, so we'll come back. Mark Prater will join us, meteorologist, to let us know what's happening with the hurricane. If he's not, I know he's extremely busy. We'll try to get a word from him. We come back. More of your phone calls at 877 and We Be Big. A look back at our trip to Turner Field yesterday, and also our lawnmower race with Sterling Marlin. All still to come. Hang on. We're back 13 minutes to the top of the hour of the Rick and Bubba Show. The parking lot, we introduced another member of the show to you, and this one is going to trouble you a little bit. In the parking lot, Speedy is using the bush cam to show you Jim the Crazy Sign Man. There he is. Jim is a man who looks a little more like Ted Kaczynski than you want him to. He comes by and just holds up signs out behind the studios for no apparent reason.
Now, I know some of you would think we should be worried about this. We don't think he is dangerous, okay?
Right.
We know he is a librarian,
right,
and we know he is one of the top 100 Scrabble players
in the country.
And, we...
Wonder if he can spell weird.
Now, granted, when you look at Jim, you think Ted Kaczynski, who's just got him a trim, a little bit. So... We're watching Jim very cautiously.
We watch him. Point word right there.
But he is called Jim the Crazy Sign Man, and whenever he's out in the parking lot with the sign, we'll show him to you.
We'll bring it to you as best we can.
Right. Heads up, Jim. Hobbies.
Right.
Stamps would be great.
Right now, meteorologist Mark Prater joins us. Put your hands together. It's time for the weather. He got it all together. If it's snow or tornado, here, Mark Prater. Put it on the bush. It's time for the weather. Ain't nobody better. Here's Mark Prater. Mark Prater. Here's Mark Prater. Mark Prater. Here, Mark Prater. Mark Prater. Mark Prater, what's up, man?
How you doing, gentlemen? Mark, I hope you appreciate our high-tech graphics here. We hold a picture of you up as you join us on the phone. And, look, I'll tell you why we have Mark Prater on. I'll be clear. He is a meteorologist, and occasionally we will mention the weather, but we mostly have him on just because he's our friend and we like it.
Yeah, just to cut up and have a little guy talk.
And he's really a good laugher, and you hear him in a lot of our best of bits.
How about this? He's an infectious laugh.
Mark, you're all over the new CD, by the way. She Commenced to Shaving, available in stores October 15th.
Oh, that's huge.
Oh, yeah. And that was one of the problems is they thought about Prater that we would get on TV and hawk stuff. And we told them we weren't going to do that. Take camera 2, please.
Camera 1. Camera 1. That will never happen, Mark.
And we're not going to hawk anything. Our new CD hits stores October 15th. Bubba holding a copy of it.
Where could I get one of those?
I don't know how they got it on camera, but there it is.
I will tell you this CD I think is our best yet. Mark, you're all over it, by the way.
That's huge.
But I will say that really the price of the cover is worth this CD.
Yeah,
okay?
And I'm having a tough time looking at Speedy carrying a camera right now.
Yeah, it looks bizarre.
And we've got a nice little signing page in here. That's our nurse Lisa, and I believe it's Whitlow.
Whitlow, yeah.
Is her name, and there you go, Mark.
Is that the nurse you got on the air?
Yeah.
Called in?
Yes.
We did a little contest to find a nurse.
And you found the right one.
Yes, we did.
By
She
the way,
really
I'd like
did a
to
great
point
job.
out how nice Mickey looks this morning.
Doesn't he look good?
Thank
The
you.
red jacket. I think that red jacket is a good look for you.
Well, I've always dressed up for the show. You people have been listening and not been looking. I've always thought, my mama, when I got in the entertainment business, said, I just want you to promise me one thing, son, you'll look nice.
Right.
You can't be nobody if you don't look like somebody. Well, and then I look over at Greenwood.
Right.
I think, boy, was mother ever wrong.
Now, granted, I am concerned some of the kids are screaming, Mom, look, Santa Claus is on TV.
Right.
With his summer cut.
Right.
You know what I mean?
There are kids calling right now going, Mommy, is Santa Claus working out?
Papa's on TV.
All right, now, which one of them?
18,000 3-year-olds are going, Papa, it's on TV. Papa, going to the lake, Papa.
Prater, I know that a lot of people are wondering about the hurricane. We talked with John from Pascagoula.
Yeah.
He says that he hopes it's tracking away from them. But earlier in the program, you told us Louisiana, Alabama. Is that still pretty much the people on the Gulf Coast that need to be looking?
Yeah, I think for the folks down there, these things are so schizophrenic. But with Isidore getting back over the Gulf, it's going to strengthen very quickly going towards the Texas-Louisiana coastline. But I think as we get a little bit later into the week, we'll see it take more of a turn towards southeast Louisiana. Well, I look good there. Hold on.
Yeah, we got you covered.
But more of a northeast turn, and then southeast Louisiana, southern Mississippi, South Alabama. This is a guesstimate, but we think that'll be the area that it goes in, and it could have winds about 125, maybe up to 140 miles per hour if it strengthens like we think. So it is a very serious storm. And obviously, we're going to keep you guys up to date over the next couple of days. But for now, we're going to be affected either way around the southeast with wind and rain.
You know, we had a little discussion earlier, Mark, about Speedy and some of the stunts he used to do, and some people feel like he's lost his edge now that he's a family man. You know, with you saying hurricane, it came to my mind, Speedy kayaks in the Gulf.
Sure.
You know, I thought that might be a good bit. For the show.
Why not?
How about this? Speedy, the Gulf Coast kayaker.
And he's going to the Yucatan one way or the other.
Yes.
That would be great.
and look, and his new nickname, Speedy Cleaver.
Knowing Speedy like I do, he would pick up a Haitian and subcontract out the paddling.
Oh, Mickey, you a lot of thought went into that one.
It was quick, though.
That was good, Mickey. That was good.
Well, Prater, I know you're going to be dreadfully busy with this. And you're thinking Thursday will be the day that everybody starts getting kind of interesting?
Yeah, I think Wednesday night and Thursday we'll start to see it hit the coastline, and then for the rest of us in the listening area, I think probably Thursday into Thursday night. So, this could change, obviously, but we'll keep you up to date on as things develop.
All right, buddy.
Hate to bring such bad news on the first day, but guys, you're looking great, and
you.
that delay's a little tricky.
Yeah, the delay is funny when we say, hey, look at this, and 3 seconds later, there it is.
Yeah.
So, but we'll work with that. So, Prater, take care, and I know you're going to be spending some busy time here over the next few days, but thanks for the update, and those of you in the Gulf Coast, be paying attention. We'll keep you updated throughout the week.
Lots of love, guys. I'll be watching.
See you, Marco.
There he is.
You mean on that delay, if I pick my nose, I got 3 seconds to stop before they'll see it?
No, if they grab it, everybody will just see it 3 seconds later.
I'll be back in a minute.
And then you get to watch yourself do it, which is really bad.
Boy.
Yeah. We'll be right back.
I'll be over here if you need me.
Rick and Bubba, Rick and Bubba.
It is the top of the hour. You're watching and listening to the Rick and Bubba Show. How are you? The two sexiest fat men alive. I be Rick.
And I be Bubba. Good morning.
Our toll-free number anywhere in the nation is 1-877-WE-BE-BIG. All of you that have been listening to the show via radio on 23 radio stations and adding more every day across the Southeast, thank you. You need to welcome Turner South. We treat Turner South today just like another affiliate. We picked it up. I like Mickey Dean's phrase, internationally known comedian who's with us this morning. He said it's now kind of look and listen. So listen and looking, or looking and listening.
Well, you can't beat a visual aid. Sometimes the jokes and the fun we're having in here and we're laughing and giggling, you don't get to see it on radio.
And sometimes that's been good.
Sometimes it has been good.
I get cold chills thinking about some of the times if we'd have been in here with TV on.
Yes, I know.
And, I'm concerned because we've always been told we have the perfect face for radio, that this could be the end of the whole shebang.
And look, we know we're a little chubby, but remember, TV puts on about 100 pounds.
Yeah, I mean, they say 5'10", 100.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Then I weigh 60.
Yes.
Yesterday, Rick, we've got to do some really cool things
during
the history of this show. We have been... grand marshals of the race at Talladega. We have got to drop flags. We have got to fly in this and do that, and we've been on various networks and met, people who we've looked up to our whole life. But I'll tell you, yesterday was another milestone for us as we visited the TED in Atlanta and got to sit in with Pete and Don Sutton on the Braves broadcast.
All those years growing up, and there we are, looking, those of you watching on TV, that's us sitting in the booth with Don Sutton and Pete Van Wert. I couldn't believe that there I was, and to my left, there sat Pete. And I don't think Pete could believe to his right was Rick and Bubba.
Too, I know that Pete was taken back a little bit by how much territory we took up there in the booth. It is a very roomy booth, but as you look at this shot, you realize, hey, the room was quickly going away.
We filled up. I mean, did you see that? Now,
did y'all take over?
Yeah, of course. And Don Sutton gave us a ton. He's from Escambia County.
I didn't want to say.
Really?
Yeah.
Don Sutton told me, he says, I have relatives at every exit on I-65. And I said, well, Don, why don't you come sit in with us one morning, or at least we'll try to get him on the phone. I know they're busy, with the Braves right now and the playoffs coming up and all that. So we're gonna try to get Don on the show and talk with him a little bit. But I felt like we connected, Rick. We just connected with Don.
Yeah.
And Mickey, in my mind, he wanted us to stay longer.
Connected thing.
Connected. And I felt like he wanted us to stay longer.
I did too.
Didn't you?
You can tell when somebody wants you to go, and you can tell when somebody wants you to stay.
Don Sutton wanted...
You're used to that feeling from us,
yes,
right?
And I'll see y'all next time.
Thank you, buddy. Take care, Mick. The thing about it is, I felt from Don Sutton he needed at least, and this is minimum, one more inning.
I felt like we were one inning away from Don Sutton saying to us, hey, guys, what are you doing after the game? How about let's go get a steak? I mean, I don't want to step out, but that's how I felt.
I felt the same way. And Pete, Pete was a little, and I think he felt like, I'm with three Southern boys. I'm from Rochester, New York, he had to tell us. And I think that made him feel like that he was on the outside looking in, but it wasn't true.
But he was very nice.
He was extremely nice. But, where Pete Van Wieren was going, we are calling a baseball game, Don Sutton seemed to completely get away from that.
Well, too, I felt like we made a connection with Don because we mentioned to him that we played a little ball.
Yeah, sure.
Of course, Rick, you were an all-state defensive tackle. And, I was an all-county baseball pitcher, and
shortstop.
And I told Don, I said, my style of pitching was a lot like yours, except I didn't have a fro. And I thought he liked that.
He did like that very much.
By the way, I need to give a shout-out, too, because I didn't get it in the broadcast yesterday, to Terry Abbott, who was my high school baseball coach, who he was really the first person to teach me psychological warfare.
Yeah.
So, and he had played in the Braves organization, and is now coaching and scouting for the Reds. So, hope that Coach Abbott gets to visit the show a little bit.
Yeah, we try to have some great memories, like when we played Little League, and of course in the '70s when I was playing Little League, you could come over to the Braves, sit behind home plate, and get to hang out with Darrell Cheney.
Yeah,
but that was
if you went down and had a good game of like handball going with a cup, they might ask you to pitch in the late innings.
As a matter of fact, I remember one time the Blue Caps, which was my T-ball team, what they call T-ball now. We didn't get to hit on the tee till you got 4 balls, but we were actually pitching each other at 5 and taking it to the chin. You know, but we would get to head off the tee. We actually got to play, I think it was the third inning one time against the Padres. So
Right.
it was incredible.
Well, you know the thing, too, John Perry, who is the John, are you the executive producer of this thing?
John Perry
what
on the TV party, some kind of producer type thing.
He he told us when we got there, he said, guys, I've got tickets if y'all want to go sit down before you sit in with Pete and Don, which was going to be about the third inning. And they carried us up to the press box, Mickey, and in the media area, they got all this food, and it's really good. By the way, 30 different type hot dogs. And
a bunch of different hot dogs. So, it was very, very fancy.
And, it looked like it was going to rain, and I thought, and John even said to me, he said, our seats don't have cover on it. And I thought, because the last time I had been to Turner Field, I was in the upper deck behind the foul pole. Okay?
Now, and we're thinking that the whole way. They said, oh, yeah, guys. See, I thought they just got tickets to get us in the gate. Then they put our media credentials and our press box stuff on us. And then we never wanted to leave that because we thought if you got those kind of credentials, why give them up? So we're thinking, oh, yeah, the seats. And Don Juan went on to the seats.
It's going to rain.
Yeah, we're like, it's kind of rainy. And we thought seats, Schmeats. And all of a sudden...
Well, we're up in the media section, where the newspaper guys are, and John Perry tapped me on the shoulder and said, can you see Don Juan? And I start looking up at the flagpole, thinking, is he in the upper deck? And he says, no, look at Chipper Jones on deck. He's sitting right behind him. Look, there's Don Juan right now sitting on the second row in Ted's box.
Yeah, they just showed a piece of it on Turner South. Right here, look. Watch this a minute. Look at Chipper Jones on deck. Right behind him, there's Don Juan. Look at that, right
with
there.
the red pants on.
Y'all, look how close we were. Now, the only problem with that seat is if they foul one back,
you better be ready.
Side, you're going to take it right to the base.
You don't understand. There's no screen. There is no fence. The wall there is maybe 2 foot high, and you are 50 foot from the plate.
Closer than the mound.
The pitcher is 60.
Closer than the mound.
I don't want a seat when I get there. I look down.
The pitcher for the Marlins was further away.
If I had been that close to a T-ball game, I would have gone, honey, we need to move back. We're going to get popped in the face with a foul ball here.
Yes.
And this guy for the Marlins is throwing 97 miles an hour.
97.
Can he bring it?
Can
you hear the glove pop from there?
Mickey, it's like a shotgun going off when he hits it. And everybody there's got a glove, and I thought, well, we need catcher's mask. We're going to get popped in the face.
You got to pay attention, hadn't you?
And it's funny because when you're close to professional athletes, there's a couple things that I always notice. One of them is they're always a lot bigger and a lot more muscular than you even imagine on
Sort
TV.
of like when you first met me, a professional comic.
Exactly. And the other thing is the uniforms aren't as nice as you think they are.
Really?
Yeah. They're more like the ones you buy in the store, and you really don't realize it on TV.
When you get close and you start looking, like I look like Chipper Jones, I don't know whether it was some kind of extra sliding thing he put on his pants, or he just liked those pants and said, hey, patch them up, there's a hole in them. I mean, he's got a patch on the back, and some of them are like kind of baggy and look like somebody's got their pajamas on. I was like, well, these uniforms are not near as nice as they look on TV.
That's what they're comfortable in.
Yeah, I guess it's all about comfort.
But, Mickey, it was shocking how close we were, okay? And we're bothered by it, and I don't know if you saw the game, but they walk the number 8 batter and put like 2 men on with 2 outs to get to Greg Maddux.
They want to pitch to the pitcher.
And Greg Maddux is getting loose on deck. I mean,
he's about where you are for me right now.
And Rick turns to me and says,
I said, hey, Maddux needs to make them pay for this.
And Maddux can hear you, and he turns around and grins at us like, yeah, right.
He gives me a smirk like, yeah, I'm going to touch that 97-mile-an-hour fastball. He even smirks like, yeah, right.
I might even point to what fence I'm going to hit it over.
Right, let's have some fun with it.
Yeah, why not?
And what I tell you what I loved about it, though, you talk about being able to heckle blue. And by the way, the umpires had black on.
But people were still calling them blue.
Everybody was still calling them blue. And why does an umpire need a number?
But, Mickey, you'll love this.
What does he need a number for?
Maddux goes to the plate, and right at that time, the sign changes behind home plate, and it's a promo for the Rick and Bubba show on Turner South.
Yeah.
And I told Rick, I said, if Greg Maddux, by some,
we begin to pray,
just a gift from heaven above can jack this thing out, it will be on every network for the rest of the week.
It was set up.
Yeah, and of course,
he ground out to the pitcher, but it was
not pretty. But just like, because if Greg didn't believe, It was tough for us to believe.
And I mean, this guy was throwing chainsaws up there. He was throwing so hard.
Sometimes you don't want to be that close to a hero, do you?
Yeah.
I mean,
Hey, look, I was getting in front of you. Greg's going to make them pay right here.
I wanted to see Superman my whole life, and you know what he did?
What?
Dug in his shorts.
Oh, reached around to pull them out.
Now, you'll see that at the ball game,
downtown at Sears when I was about 7. You don't want to see you, and I don't even think it was Superman, because we don't know who it was, so how would we know?
Right, because he took his glasses off and couldn't recognize him.
I think the guy was like Carl from Huntsville.
Right, and so he dug in his tights?
Yes, that was off. Now, he was digging, too. He was trophy hunting.
Well, how about this? We got to see Hall of Famer Greg Maddux pitch up close, and for me, it doesn't get any better than that. And how about this? He really is into the game, even though the Braves have clinched. And from our vantage point, we got to hear Greg Maddux cuss with his glove over his mouth.
You know how they cover their mouths so you can hear it on TV? We
it
could
was
hear
great, Mick. It was great. We're like, yeah!
We'll be back. 10 minutes past.
Rick and Bubba, Rick and Bubba.
It's the shaving. Hit stores and our website October the 15th.
Rick, we're going to go back to the phones here. We are going to welcome Turner South, just like they would be a new affiliate.
Sure,
We've always done that with the radio show. And if you are wondering if the program is available in your area on the radio, go to our website, check it out. We have a full list there. Ryan Greenwood, although he's very quirky, he does a very good job.
Yeah, really, his quirkiness can work to our advantage if we get him on the right project.
Right, you got to focus.
You got to get his energy headed in the right direction. The phones are lit up all across the country. Let's start in Macon, Georgia.
Look at those phones.
Back in Macon, Georgia.
We're back in Macon, Georgia.
They said you'd never be back in town, didn't they?
We're back. Lee, how you doing?
Hi, I'm fine. Monkey grass.
Hey, Lee.
First time to call. Thank you very much.
Also, Rick, before we do this, we need to congratulate Greg Maddux. We were just talking about him last segment. He is the only pitcher, along with Cy Young, to win 15 or more games in 15 consecutive seasons. And also, John Smoltz tied the National League record for saves yesterday. So we got to see a little history also.
No doubt.
He proved it wasn't a fluke, didn't he? 15 straight years.
Do you know how many pitches he's had to throw over that?
I'm going to tell you what, he cusses through his glove pretty good, too.
Does he really?
Look, I knew, hey, you know what? He's a competitor.
He's a competitor.
He was there to win that ball game, even though it didn't, in the standings, it's already done. And I salute Greg for being a competitor.
Look, y'all have heard me. I have been put on the record. I think cussing in sporting events doesn't count against you.
That's almost like a timeout from being a good person, don't you think?
I think St. Peter's going to have them written down, and you go look like you're doing your hotel bill. That one's not mine.
Yeah, I'm going to pick it up.
That was at the TED.
I'll get to the guy and say, now, Peter, if you'll look, that was during a sporting event.
Yeah, I was trying to tie Cy Young right here, and the ball slipped out of my hands. It was out there before I knew it.
Speaking of hot dogs at the TED, have you bought one outside where the little people like us have to buy them?
No, never have. We got ours free up in the media tent, so I wasn't really worried about it.
Expensive.
Yeah, but I don't care. Mine were free.
Well, they had a mugging. They had a mugging over there when I was over there.
Really?
Yeah, they didn't get the guy's watch or camera, but they stole an $80 hot dog.
Well, Mickey, they got to pay for the free ones up in the media center somehow. Come on. Hey, Lee, I'm sorry. We got sidetracked, ma'am.
Lee, let me ask you this. Were you listening to the show when it was on radio in Macon before it was, wrongfully ripped from the airways by some idiot?
You mean by the mayor?
Yeah. Really, the mayor didn't have anything to do with that, believe it or not. He really did. And he actually was a good sport. I actually got to love the show. It was a programming goob who, showed his genius once again by pulling us off.
And he's not there anymore.
Yeah, I think he's selling satellite dishes somewhere now, but I'm not holding a grudge.
Well, I actually live in Warner Robins, which is about 20 minutes outside of Macon.
Right. Well, good.
And I was very, to put it Christian-like and nice.
Kind of like I just did?
Yeah. I was extremely upset when they took y'all off the air. And I wrote y'all an email.
Were you cussing through your glove?
Well, yeah, you could say that.
Well, and that's one of the great things about adding Turner South to the family is we're going back in some markets that we used to be on. And, of course, we're getting in some markets we've never been on.
Yeah. And, I caught a glimpse of the commercial last week, and I thought, well, let me see if they're on. And to my surprise, at 8 o'clock this morning, y'all were on there, and I was so thrilled because y'all gave me so many laughs last year when y'all were on the air, on the radio. And now that I can sit here at my computer, do my schoolwork, and listen to y'all in the background on the TV, and it's just like total bliss.
Lee, well, thank you for saying that. Quick question. Do we look nervous? Because Ken Bird had emailed me and said...
nervous?
Said, you guys need to loosen up a little bit. You look nervous. So I don't know...
what are you talking about?
Well, I don't know what you mean, Ken.
Ken, we're just doing our show like we always do it.
Yeah, always.
Y'all don't look nervous.
We don't look nervous at all, do we, Ken?
The Turner people have asked that we not eat and be dripping sauce on ourselves during the TV show. That's the only thing they've really asked.
Do I look nervous?
Hi, y'all. It's the Rick and Bubba Show. I'm
Thank y'all
Mickey
for
D.
joining us, Lee, in Macon, Georgia.
Thank you.
Lee, thank you so much.
Another. You want to?
Go to line 1.
Who looks nervous? All right, we'll go to...
and constipated.
I don't know how to pronounce Rachel, where are you from? I can't... Is it Hiram?
Hiram, Georgia?
Hey, Hira.
Rachel?
Hiram, Georgia.
Hiram, welcome to the
in
program.
Paulding County.
Well,
Yeah.
Rachel,
thank you, Rachel.
Good town.
And Rachel says you've never heard of the show. Now, are you hearing us for the first time today, seeing us, or both?
Both. I'm watching you on TV.
Oh, well, hey, Rachel, how are you?
Rachel, let me say this, and we always tell everybody this. Our first impressions are usually a little scary on everybody. Give us 30 days, and then you can make a decision about the program, but we hope you will stay with us and enjoy it every morning.
It's a form of brainwashing.
Yeah. Rachel, are we scaring you this morning, or how you feeling about it?
No, it's actually pretty good. I've enjoyed it.
Well,
I'll tell you what, I think our control room looks pretty good on the air. Actually, it's a lot better looking on television than it is in real life.
Yeah, the great thing about TV is what an illusion is. This looks like really a pretty big-time studio, but it ain't.
We put a little paint on it, a little lipstick, and dress that pig up.
We fixed her up a little bit.
But Bonanza didn't really have that big range.
Well, that's a good point. Let's go to Douglasville, Georgia. A lot of Georgia today. Grace, welcome to the program. How are you?
I'm doing just fine. How are you?
We're great.
Listen, I used to be in radio, and when y'all first came on at 8 o'clock, y'all looked like the bobblehead dogs. You looked a little nervous.
Did we look nervous?
Yeah, now you calmed down, and you've gotten into your rhythm, and you look really good. And I'm so proud of you sitting there doing your own engineering, because, Rush Limbaugh doesn't do his own engineering. He can hire somebody.
But Rush Limbaugh makes $40 million a year.
Yeah, trust me, we won't either if we ever get to that
Rick $40 million, you'll never see him again.
Let me tell you something.
He's out of here, baby.
He's gone. Let me show you what it looked like if I get $40 million. Keep the camera right.
There you go.
Well, guys, another thing.
And there'll be a sign in his yard that says free CDs.
Guys, and another thing, have you ever seen a skinny radio announcer?
Oh, no, because we don't work. I mean, you have to actually move around and work a little.
And people are bad about bringing food.
I mean, I used to be on at 6 a.m. in the morning on a little radio station, 1,000-watt radio station, where, if you start out, you do everything.
Oh, yeah, I ran the Braves.
We've done all of that, Grace. And look, we still do. We do more than you would think.
Well, I'm proud of you guys. I'm glad you made it, and good luck with your program.
Thank you very much,
Thank
Grace.
you. Awful sweet of you.
Let's go to, let's go to, is this Telena in Gadsden, Alabama?
Yes.
Where it all began.
Where it all began. She listens to us on Mix 102.9, says she is now watching us on Turner South. How you doing, Telena?
I'm doing fine. I've watched that for many, many years. I've listened to you for many, many years.
Thank you very much.
Y'all look great.
It sounds like you may have had that phone for the entire time.
Yeah, might need to update. It's a little muffled.
It's almost like you're speaking to us like you've already got your stocking mask on, ready to knock off a liquor store.
I'm actually watching TV, and it's kind of throwing me off. I need to keep watching TV.
Oh, I got you. Okay.
Might want to have that first cup of coffee, ma'am.
Yeah. Well, Telena, we sure do appreciate your support. And like I say, Gadsden, Alabama is where Bubba and I first got together. Start doing a show there, and that place will always be special to us.
Yeah, well, y'all are special to all of us, too.
Thank you very much. We sure do appreciate it.
And everybody has continued to support the show there, and we appreciate it.
Let's go to Angie, who's in Loosedale, Mississippi. Angie. You can't say we never tried.
That's right. I know y'all sing me that song this morning.
Oh,
Monkey
yeah.
Grass.
Sure. Oh, Monkey Grass. Okay, we'll get it.
Welcome.
All right, well, Angie, now, how long have you been with us?
Well, for about a year.
Oh, good. Thank you.
It's how my husband and I communicate in the morning. He's at work listening to y'all on the radio, and I'm at home listening to y'all on the radio. And he comes home in the evening, we discuss what Rick and Bubba had to say.
Well, I'll tell you what, you got you a good man.
Oh, he is. He's the best now.
And what does he do for a living? What does he do?
Well, he builds banks.
Oh,
He doesn't rob them. He just builds.
Oh, he's a construction guy.
Mm-hmm.
Hard hat.
Hard working.
Hard hat wearing, tool belt buckling.
Oh, and he coaches 3 baseball teams. And the first thing we said yesterday when we seen y'all on the Braves was, well, they're not big.
Well, we're just dressing thin. Trust me, we are. And if the air conditioning ever goes out under these lights and we have to take our shirts off, you'll know what we're talking about.
And when we have to, don't make us go shirtless day one, because we don't make us sit here. Bubba, don't do it.
No, Bubba. Bubba.
And Bubba, and Bubba, his name's Bubba too.
Yeah. Well,
I'll call him Bubba.
Well, thank you very much. And
you know, Rick,
Betty
I
is
told him you
typing
better
in,
be
don't
glad
do
that
it.
Rick's married, because I might have to go looking for him somewhere.
Well, thank you, Inch. I appreciate it. Look, day one, let me see.
He's got his black on.
Got my hair like I somewhat like it.
Look, we are happily married.
Yes.
We are known as the 2 sexiest fat men alive, but if need be, we will serve as eye candy.
Yeah.
Sure. Look, hey,
but
ladies,
we are not just a piece of meat,
ladies.
Come on.
Ladies, we're married.
We have feelings.
They're
deep inside our chubby chest, but we have a heart.
Right, and under some stress. But let me say this. Let me say this, okay? We're married. We're unavailable. Doesn't that kind of almost make it a little more enticing?
Yeah, come on, tell the truth. You can't have. You want something you can't have.
No, yes, sir. Ain't nothing wrong. Y'all want to diet, but you look at that menu.
I told you what he looked like with that black shirt on was 11 o'clock at night.
Yeah, Mickey Dean said, you're such a big guy with that black shirt, you look like 11 o'clock at night. Mickey they didn't get it the first time, so I thought I'd emphasize it again.
Please show.
We'll come back, and when we do, we will take a look at when Sterling Marlin was racing. So a lot of you heard it on the air, but we actually have footage we want to show you on Turner South this morning, too, so stay close. We're back, the Rick and Bubba Show, the 2 sexiest fat men alive. Our toll-free number is 877-WE-BE-BIG. Our fax line is 205-945-3999. The award-winning website is rickandbubba, if you're trying to catch up on the program and learn what it's all about. It's going to take some time. You know, we're kind of like kudzu. We're look harmless to begin with, and before you know it, we're everywhere. As we get back, Mickey Dean, internationally known comedian, here with me. Mickey, you, like a lot of us, big NASCAR fan.
Yes.
Sterling Marlin was here. We've started a tradition on the Rick and Bubba Show that we will race drivers on lawnmowers when they come by. And we don't ask permission or even ask them. We kind of ambush them with it.
Around the building?
Around the building on lawnmowers. We are yet to win one.
Also, Rick, we have also played football against some Hall of Fame football players. We have actually had a tag game with Dan Marino.
Yes.
Bart Starr has participated in one. Troy had to go. We didn't have time because
did Troy Aikman ever throw? The names were dropping.
Right.
I was just letting them fall.
Just trying to give you an idea.
Yeah, but that's our new thing. The only time we hadn't even got into the Sean Hannity thing, but it's coming. I'm
trying to let that breathe.
Well, it's coming up, though. So we had Sterling Marlin here. He agreed to get on lawnmowers and race. And I really felt like this time, because Dale Earnhardt Jr. had raced us before, and he owned us. We were never in it. And
Rick, he only beat me by half a mower.
Yeah, but
he
led the whole way.
And I was trying to, spin him out by hitting the back of his tires, and I couldn't get it to go. We call it the IRO, the International Race of Weight.
Right.
And there is 3 very even set-up lawnmowers.
Yes.
And the first time, Dale Earnhardt Jr., you tried to do something funny with your lawnmower.
Yeah, I tried to cheat. I tried to throw it into neutral and coast by them, and the thing shut off in neutral. This time, though, and if you're watching on Turner South right now, you see it. This time we did a random drawing where the people who provide the lawnmowers couldn't give the best one to their driver.
Because we felt like they may be showing them some love.
If you'll watch right out of the gate, though, Bubba and I cut off Sterling Marlin, and we own him.
Now, I'm on the outside. Sterling is in the middle. Rick's on the inside. And look at my quick move, if you would, to cut off Sterling here. I'd like you to give me props on that move out of the gate.
Look, so we've got him boxed out right here. He has no... Now, here's where he starts cheating.
He starts fiddling with the engine, see?
He's trying to find the governor back there on it, which I didn't know they had governors on them.
We really don't know that much about engines, and this is really kind of a foul.
He finds it here.
Now, watch what happens. I'm trying to go inside here, give Rick a little fun.
Of course, I'm cutting you off, and I'm owning it, but And
there's the satellite truck to the left, and that's Speedy walking behind us.
Yeah, and with the number 90
link in the show.
Right, and that's Ryan running in the orange shirt there, and now he's losing.
Now watch Sterling start fooling with the engine. He revs
Here
it
comes
up.
the blow up.
He revs it up, but he's not ready for what happened.
Him. I'll take him into those cars if I have to. Oh,
he
blow an engine.
No.
See, he blows an engine there, and I think I own it now. Look, you're even pointing. We think we own it at that point.
Now, this is where we went out of range of the camera.
Yeah, this is where the camera can't keep up with us, and so it's just smoke.
And
on
of
the
course,
screen.
this looks like, a major fire. Okay, here we go. And
now, he is nothing but cheating now.
We're coming up what would be the back stretch.
Yeah, and he has back. See his hand? He is taking that bolt that is the governor, and he's accelerating his engine, getting it back behind the bolt and giving it more gas.
I'm swimming, trying to get... At this point, I realize I have no hope of winning.
Right.
And so I decide to cut the mower off and sprint for the finish line.
And nobody gave you any credit for this. You were overruled, and I never saw in the rules that you had to bring the lawnmower with you.
Where's it in the rules? I want to tell you this.
Can't get out of the car and run.
I thought that that was the only way to finish. I want y'all to please give me props, even though I'm 5'8", 260. I was putting them down and picking them up.
And I couldn't get my lawnmower stopped, and I nearly hit some people. But still, that really didn't matter.
There was a small child that you about to get.
Well,
hey, watch out! It's real.
Well, I was all about speed. I had not learned to stop it yet.
There's the mobile assault broadcast vehicle in the background. The clips of that big yellow.
So there it was. There it was.
Sterling was a good sport, but he did win. And we didn't have a rule in there about tampering with the engine. To me, if you can drive and tamper with the engine, that's just a plus.
Well, but nobody. If I wish I'd have known about tampering. Well, what if we could have got back there?
He is the professional.
You know, that's not the first time he's worked on a car mid-race.
No.
Yeah.
If you think about it, but Frank from Bob's Power Equipment, he didn't appear to be too happy when that smoke was coming out of his lawnmower.
No, he didn't.
That was a little concerning for him.
But what I don't understand, how could an engine, Mickey, and you may know because you know a little bit about engines and you've worked on stuff. How could an engine like that smoke that bad and still come back and run again?
He flooded. It's what he
Is that what it was?
It just dumped a lot of gasoline there.
It took off for a minute,
like
but then it was too much, and it bogged down. But he came back, and with these mowers set up even, Rick, it appears that maybe our weight is holding us back a little bit.
That's the problem. Is Bubba and I are like 280, and what are you now?
250.
Oh, as Betty wants.
Well, y'all didn't think about it. Y'all didn't think about that. Yeah. Sterling's what, 180?
Yeah,
I mean,
that's very big.
That's we should make
100 pounds.
Y'all should have had him put a brick on his.
What about them and somebody else get on there?
Yes.
I mean, we're two of them.
That's
How about
right.
this? Well, in the future, we will ask that the driver and a handler have to ride on. The handler has to sit up on there with him to try to equal our weight.
The handler who's very nervous that, we're in the parking lot racing.
Well, you'd have to have a 60-pound handler, or you're going to go the other way.
Well,
About 60 pounds.
Well, 100 pounds for me.
Mickey, let's just round it off.
Could we get a midget?
You know what I mean?
Well, no, a midget don't weigh enough.
60?
And then you have to deal with the midget. Midgets are sometimes hard to deal with. We've covered that on the program.
You could take him by Rick and Bubba's before he got here.
They always got their little midget handout for a check.
Yeah. Give him a little check.
Little midget contract. These things are costly.
Come here with a little midget lawyer.
Right. It gets very complicated. Especially if it's around St. Patrick's Day or Christmas.
When they're in high demand, the price goes up right through the roof.
They get cocky around that time of year.
Well, supply and demand.
I know it.
Supply and demand. But, like when you notice about the weight, when we're coming uphill at the finish line.
My mower is struggling.
We can't even.
Did you hear mine? I mean, it just collapsed.
Well, Bubba.
Yeah.
If it had been a donkey, you wouldn't have made it that first corner.
But I got out of the gate so good.
We came out of the gate.
Like that cop on that horse up there at when we saw the
at the Coliseum.
Yeah, boy, wow.
The 4 horses holding his foot up, trying to catch a break.
We saw a policeman so big on a horse that the horse at one time uttered, "Hey, why don't we swap?"
Yeah. Give me the gun, I'll get the whistle.
21 minutes to the top. We'll be back. You're listening to the Rick and Bubba Show and watching it, too. We're back 16 minutes to the top of the hour, the Rick and Bubba Show. As we make our way back, our toll-free number is 877-WE-BE-BIG. You can email us at Rick and Bubba, spelloutand.com.
Rick, a couple of emails here I was looking over. Kathy Parker from Hoover emailed us and said, I've been in the loop, which means
Thank you, Kathy.
You've been following the program
Thank you, Kathy.
for a couple of years now and had the chance to meet you both on location and at your restaurant and have been accused by my husband of being a groupie for the two fat guys. But wow, you have turned it up today. Well, Kathy, let me just say thank you.
Bubba, I like your little area over there. I'm looking at it on TV, and you got your little computer like you like it, and then you go over to me, and I've got like a shower curtain behind me.
Well,
I feel like yours looks a little hip.
It's an impressive shower curtain, Rick.
Thank you.
She says, despite a brief moment at the beginning of the show when you had that deer in the headlights look, what a show. The studio looks wonderful, and all of you are doing a fabulous job. Stay in it, Kathy Parker.
Thank you.
What, did we have a...
What, when we came out of the gate, anyone, did we look like...
I thought we were...
What? Who said?
Look, don't make us do a quick poll.
Yeah.
Okay?
What? I'm ready.
I feel like that you people thought we were going to be tight. We were not tight. We were just focused.
I think y'all... Don't make us do a quick poll about it.
Don't make us do that right here.
We will quick poll at the drop of a hat.
Also, got another email here, and I will let the name remain nameless, if you will. Says, the show looks great. One thing, why did you use Danny Bonaduce head? Dog.
It does look like Danny. Where's Bubba's bobblehead?
Your nose is not that big. I know I have a big nose, okay? The reason being...
It's not a big nose.
I have had...
It's a wide
Speedy,
nose.
Don't get in too close, okay? There's no need to show all the details.
It's not a big nose.
I am a sinus sufferer big time,
Chubby
okay?
nose.
I have had sinus trouble my whole life. I've had 2 sinus surgeries. I struggle. I know I have big nose holes, which means you have a big nose.
Right.
And I realize that. Now, what they did, they used like a... Speedy, thank you. They used a 50-millimeter... They used a 50-gallon drum. They got up too close.
Look at Bubba's nose.
And granted...
Do you see him?
Look, that goes from ear to ear.
Right.
I mean, we're going to have a talk with the artist on that.
Well, look, what it is, bobbleheads are exaggerated.
Well, hey, they've got it.
Yeah, and they exaggerate what you have.
I know. Thank you. And
it does look like Danny Bonaduce, though. But show the bobbleheads again.
You can see,
ladies and gentlemen, Danny Bonaduce and Charlie Sheen.
Right. Great show, Turner South. Keep that email coming, Bubba at rickandbubba.com, spell out and.
Mickey Dean is with us, internationally known comedian. And Mickey Dean, of course, has a little story for us today entitled Mickey and the Funnel Cake. Everybody say, hey, Mickey! Oh, hey, Mickey!
Kaylee.
So good to see you again, sir.
Great to see y'all. I want to say again what a great time I had in Nashville. Thanks for the support up there, and Brian and everybody at the Zanies Club. And I got a lot of work coming up. I got some good corporate shows coming up. Going to Bahamas for 2 weeks.
Boy, that's tough.
Ease out to Las Vegas in 2 weeks.
Oh, you are struggling.
Are you going to be at the Atlantis again?
Yes.
In the Bahamas?
Maybe I'll stay in that bridge suite. I'll see y'all.
We actually got to visit the Atlantis, thanks to Mickey. When we were having a Rick and Bubba cruise, we docked there for the day.
Yeah.
And I'm going to tell you, that is an incredible place.
Let me tell you.
In the business, they'll call it, it's a wonderful property.
Yeah,
yes, it is.
We went back after taking that trip. Sherry and my wife and I took 2 of the children back to the Atlantis and did like a vacation there. And I'm gonna tell you something. It is really nice. A lot to do for everybody. So you're going back there. That'll be a tough gig.
Going back there for 2 weeks.
Wonderful property.
Yes, 30 minutes a night's what I'll be working. And the guy said the other night, you only have to do 30. I said, well, some nights I don't feel good. I do 25.
Yeah, and then the rest of the time you just live...
23 and a half, live in La Vida Loca.
That's you, Mick.
Well, what's your little story today?
I took my girlfriend Terry and her beautiful daughter just got back from the Air Force, and I found out they were... what?
We just see what Speedy's doing.
Yeah. When you say your girlfriend and the word daughter that close...
Tasha.
Yeah, a lot of people,
Tasha.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, Tasha and Terry had never... I found out they were huge Alabama fans, had never been to an Alabama game.
Oh, wow.
Never. And it's like, you ever check a kid out of the orphanage and take him to the zoo?
Oh, well,
you know
from time to time
about?
I do, as a matter of fact. Just part of my giving nature.
That's right. That would be what I would imagine it would feel like. But we went down there, and we got down there pretty early in time to walk around and see some things, and got them in there and bought them a hot dog, you know, and we was right on the 50, thanks to Terry Bond, gave us those tickets on the 50.
Here's what I was a little hurt by. Our boss here at Citadel Broadcasting, the parent company of the Rick and Bubba Show, I didn't know we had 50-yard line tickets to go see Bama play. How come we've never been offered those tickets?
Well, I don't know. You'll have to talk that over.
Rick, thanks for announcing that to everybody.
Yeah.
We're trying to keep it down home.
And I don't guess I'll ever see them again now since I opened that up. But I had to tell a story, and I had to set it up, and I wanted to thank him.
Okay. All right. Well, thanks.
Well, they're just excited. You know, they're like two little schoolgirls going on first sock hop. And we get, you know, it took me a little bit more money to park than I thought it would be, and I had to stop.
Well, you had free tickets.
I know it, but I had no cash. Is what I'm setting the joke up. I'm broke.
Oh.
And I don't want to tell her that I brought them down there and I didn't have any money.
Right. Oh.
And I said, let's get something to eat afterwards. I know where there's a Ruby Tuesdays because I knew I could use my credit card. Those people taking those Cokes and stuff around through those stands will not take a credit card.
No, they will not, which is unfortunate.
Only. Yeah. Cash only. I'm asking the guy behind me that's a huge Rick and Bubba fan that already spoke to me and asked for my autograph. Could I borrow 20? And he said, under no circumstances.
Right.
I was so hungry. And I don't think the girls were that hungry anyway. I was so hungry. And all of a sudden, you know what happens? Little girl down in front of me, Kaylee, from Tuscaloosa, I think, came in with a funnel cake.
Oh, funnel cake.
And you smelt it.
Do you know that's become the new football thing? They have funnel cake at the stadium?
The aroma was just unbelievable.
Oh, my gosh.
And it was just pouring
Love
up.
funnel cake.
And I thought, she'll probably give me some. You know, she knows.
She's a little
I think
girl.
she knows who
Sweetheart.
I am anyway. I could see them whispering, you know. It's probably your mother was whispering, don't give any of that strange man your funnel cake.
Right.
I thought he was saying something about Rick and Bubba. I leaned over and I said, could I have just a little bit of that funnel cake? Because, see, I grew up in an orphanage, and I never had a funnel cake.
Oh, very good.
And she said, try the sympathy first. She said, no. And just turned back around and started watching the game. I said, you couldn't possibly eat all of that funnel cake.
They're big.
Why did I have to get Hitler at 5 years old? You know?
I know.
She had a comeback for, I said, why not? You can't eat all that much of that. She said, I know it. I take the rest of it home with me.
One of those.
And then I said, what about buy it from you? How much a funnel cake cost? She said, I didn't pay for it. I said, I'll give you 20 for it. She said, sir, you don't understand. It didn't cost me anything, so I'm not interested in bartering for my funnel cake. He's a 5-year-old using the word barter.
Right. That's never a good sign.
I've stepped off. I know now that she's more intelligent than me, but she has the funnel cake.
It's usually our boss that uses that word.
She sat it down. He little gnarly little bitty hands and picked over it. Picked over it. Picked all the easy parts to get out.
Stuff off.
She got the loose parts. You know, you pick up one, the whole. I didn't know that at the time. I told Terry, you wait till they score a touchdown or something happens. She lays that funnel cake down. She'll never see it again.
Gone all over it.
But I was just going to get a little piece, but it all stuck together.
It's
now
all
what are you going to do? I had to eat the whole thing during a TV timeout. And she looked around and looked at the plate, and the plate was empty, and she started to cry a little bit, and I felt bad about it. Not enough to give her what I had left back.
No.
But I've seen kids cry before, and it don't hurt me that bad.
Right.
Her mother now starts looking back to see who got the funnel cake, and she looked at me, and she said, did you get my child's funnel cake? And I said, no, ma'am. And I had white powder.
That stuff just all
over my face.
Yes.
I said, ma'am, cocaine is an awful thing. It was on my pants. They called the law. It was awful.
Somebody thought you were Robert Downey Jr.?
Kaylee, yes. Kaylee, thanks for the funnel cake. I told her if she'd give me a little piece of it, I'd do a story on the show, and there it is.
No, really? So you made that up?
No.
Did that really happen, or did you just get a piece of it?
You were trying to smooth it over after the fact.
Okay.
I was trying to smooth it over.
You were caught, and you said, I'm going to give you a...
Caught white-handed.
Literally. You said, that's just some of the color in my hair.
And it was on I had on black pants, and I looked down, and I said, I can get your funnel cake. And it was all over.
They said, what's it on your pants? You said, well, a minute ago, Robert Downey Jr. walked down there and dropped it. So, well, thank you, Mickey, and thank you, Turner South, for being with us. Hey, day number 1 is in the bucket.
We got it through.
But you know what? If you had us on the radio in your city, there would still be more to come.
That's right.
A lot of people trying to figure that out.
You wouldn't have to go watch Price is Right.
No, you wouldn't. Okay, so we'll catch you again tomorrow right here. Be with us.
Let everybody know. See you then.
Thank you.
Rick and Bubba, Rick and Bubba.
But it,
Rick and Bubba's in Ohio.
Rick and Bubba, Rick and Bubba.
Pass the gravy, please.
Rick and Bubba, Rick and Bubba.
Ooh, it brings me to my knees.
Rick and Bubba, Rick and Bubba.
I can't start another
Rick and Bubba, Rick and Bubba.
day without 'em, brother.
Rick and Bubba, Rick and Bubba.
Ooh, there is no other
Rick and Bubba, Rick and Bubba.
waking on their blubber.
Rick and Bubba, Rick and Bubba.
Gonna be a big star.
Bubba, Rick and Bubba.
Fat will get you very far.
Bubba, Rick and Bubba.
Rick and Bubba's in Ohio.
Rick and Bubba, Rick and Bubba.
They all up in the house. Rick and Bubba's in Ohio.
Rick and Bubba, Rick and Bubba.
Pass the gravy, please.
Rick and Bubba, Rick and Bubba.
Ooh, it brings me to my knees.
Rick and Bubba, Rick and Bubba.
I can't start another
Rick and Bubba, Rick and Bubba.
day without 'em, brother.
Rick and Bubba, Rick and Bubba.
Ooh, there is no other
Rick and Bubba, Rick and Bubba.
waking on their blubber.
Rick and